I might have left this a little too late because there's snow on the ground. We'll see.
What I'm after today is I'm looking for a few herbs that I can dig up, put in pots, and bring inside for my indoor winter garden. Now I'm just using a trowel to dig them up, slowly going around in a circle because I'm trying to include as many roots as possible, but I'm not going to worry if any are cut because they're going to grow back in their new pots. So I don't want my fresh herbs to end just because it's winter, so I thought I'd run outside, grab a few. I'll say first, don't do what I did, which is to go out in the cold and bring them into the heat. Do it when it's a little earlier. Life just got away from me, so I'm just ran out now. They should be fine, though I don't think the chives are going to do too well. But let's see what I've got here. I started a new herb garden this season, and a lot of the plants are just nice and tiny, so I thought, oh, I got a lot of dirt there. So I thought it'd be great timing while they're nice and small to dig these up to bring inside. And then in the summer again, I will put them back outside. I've got a wet mess here. These do have soil attached to them. It's too cold for me to bother outside rinsing off the roots. I'm not too concerned. I've checked, there's no pests that I can see. Normally, I don't like bringing soil inside, but I don't know if it's just me, but I never see any pests bother herbs anyways. So I'll show you what I've got. I've got 2 rosemary plants. I have oregano. And I'm not sure this one's going to make it. What happened is I set these by the door, carried on my day to day, and they've been sitting there for about 3 hours. Hopefully he'll come back. They're pretty hardy. They can winter too. So I've got my indoor potting soil. Don't need that. And in the base, I'm putting just a wee bit of soil. I'm not using large pots for these. They have a very small root base. And I want them to be snug. The larger the pot, the more chance that I can overwater, they'll rot. I will move them into larger pots as necessary as they continue to grow. So I'm just going to throw some soil around the ends here. These chives, I'll do a nice little snip, because look what I did to the poor things. They should be fine. Hopefully, get those roots in. Now, rosemary, for many of you, can probably overwinter. It's good from zone 6 to 10. I'm 5B, so I just miss it, and they won't survive as my sage will survive, my thyme will survive, my lavender survives. So I do have my perennials that are outside that I have harvested, and I've harvested to dry. So I have lots of those. I'm not worried. It's just I don't have a whole lot of rosemary because, as you can see, the plants are still so small. So I didn't get a whole lot, and I do want more. Plus, they won't survive, and they're a perennial. I've been to gardens where you can walk by and they're huge plants and you can just brush by them and smell, oh, beautiful smell. I must say, when you cut fresh rosemary in your kitchen, you can smell it in the whole room forever. It's beautiful. Leave the pot there. I'm not sure if this one's big enough. It's snug, but I'll do that, yeah. There we go. I've watered them in. They're all settled in. So the 2 rosemary, which wouldn't survive. The chives, which overwintered just fine. These are perennials. This is the oregano. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that would survive my climate because I've never tried it before, but I do have 2 plants outside, so we'll see how that goes. But I've got nice fresh for indoors. And previously I had, at the right time of the season, when it was still warm outside, at least comparable to inside, then I brought in some flat leaf parsley. And like any plant you transplant, they could go through a little bit of transplant shock. These are hardier plants, so I won't see it with those. But maybe you bring your basil in, because it won't stand the winter, or, you know, you may see the leaves wilt or even some fall off, but they should all bounce back for you. So that's my outdoor brought in. And I'm going to carry on with some of the annual herbs. So I have my own saved coriander. Another great benefit of growing your own herbs is you get all the seeds and, well, after the beautiful flowers that all the beneficial bugs enjoy, like the hoverflies and the bees. I'm going to do some dill. We don't eat a whole lot of dill, but I like to always try to change that. So coriander, I'm just going to do clumps of these because they go to seed really fast. I don't want them growing too big, and I'm going to succession plant. So that's why I only have 4, a little modular of 4 here, just to get me going and have some at the ready when I need it. But when the plants get too big, I will just start new ones. So there's some coriander. I've got some dill. Same thing for the dill. I'm going to overseed because I just want the little plants to harvest the nice young greens, and I don't want these to get large either. I may pot these out of this little modular into another size up, see how we do, but that's more than enough of that. I'm going to start also some basil. Now basil, I do want growing endlessly throughout the winter, but I have to purchase the proper cooking one. However, I will be starting some blue spice basil, which I use for my tea. It's beautiful, and I actually can't grow enough of it, apparently. That grew well for me outside, actually. It's a much hardier, whoa, these are small. Much hardier basil. Grew really well. But I go through it very fast. So I'm going to start some more of those. That's probably enough. Those I will pot on. And the final one I'm going to do is some lime basil. I don't need many of those either. They'll have to be transplanted on. So I'm just lightly covering, and I'll water those in. So that's done. I'm looking forward to watching those grow and getting some wonderful herbs. Pretty much every meal I cook, I would say, has herbs in it, or herbs. I really rely on the flavor enhancement of herbs. So the other thing I have to do is look after my carrots that are in winter storage in my garage. So I'm out in the garage. These are some carrots that I do each year, and I put in these food grade buckets. I have my larger carrots stored in some soil here, but these ones I bring in, I grow them outside all summer and bring them in for the winter. I left the green tops on these because when I brought them in, it was after a heavy rain and then snow, actually. So I brought them in, and these buckets were wet and heavy, and they're still wet and heavy. In fact, I don't know if that's cold or if they've dried out some. I hope they've dried out some. That's why I left the greens on, so they could just continue soaking up the water and growing, in fact. But now I don't want the roots to go woody, so I think it's time that I get the greens all chopped off here, and they'll just settle in nicely until I need them. These aren't that large at all. There's lots of small ones actually. I'm leaving a little bit on just so I can find where the carrots are. But now when it comes time to harvest these, I will likely just go outside, which is what I usually do, in the cold, and dump them on one of my beds and harvest a whole bucket at a time. There are, or should be, 20 carrots in each bucket, so that's 60 carrots. I might just pull one to see how they're doing. Oh, it's cute. Oh, they're perfect. Lovely. I'll clean him up. Take him in. It is cold in my garage. It is not heated in here. And we went very cold this fall. Fast. Unusual, actually. That's pretty good. They're all set. Tuck them away. And the greens will, of course, go on my compost. And since I'm out here, I'm going to check on these vegetables. It is mostly carrots. I have some turnips and parsnips, and I have Jerusalem artichokes thrown on the top also. Mostly carrots, though, and these are the larger ones. I know those are small, but they'll do. They'll be lovely. You can see some frost on there. It is so cold out here. So, oh, I see a carrot trying to grow here. So there's rutabaga. Did I say turnip again? There's a rutabaga. Oh, they're perfect. The larger carrots are at the bottom here too. These were all from my... Oh, I'm pleased. This is the first time I've done this. They've still got a long way to go. I want, well, I will go through these first. And then the bucket ones will hopefully, let's see, this could get me through December, January, February, March, April. I'm hoping. We'll see. Depends on how many carrots I eat, isn't it? But the soil here will not go to waste either. I have used my indoor potting soil, not soil from outside. And so when it comes time in February for me to start my seed starting for the new season, I'll just use this soil. There's nothing wrong with it. Seeds don't need much. They don't need anything. The little seed itself has all the energy it needs. But this soil will be just great, so it will not go to waste. Always being frugal and reusing. I'm pleased that's working well. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.